another edition of Flyer Update. I'm your host, Mark Deal with Flyer Media Productions, and today I'm joined by Samantha Bartos and Hannah Strunk, who are the two newest ex officio members to the school board. Girls, welcome. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Let's just take a minute to talk about why each of you wanted to be on the school board. What interested you about the position? Samantha, you want to go first?
Yeah, I definitely firmly believe that students should be at the center of their education, and so that really drew me in, the fact that Mr. Johnson wanted us to be a part of the school board, because the school board makes a lot of decisions for our district. They have a lot of influence, obviously, and so the fact that he wanted Hannah and I to join up, I felt that that was a very good opportunity and a very clear path to bringing students more into their education. So I was very interested for that reason.
How about you, Hannah?
I wanted to join, as Sam said, because the students actually really make the district, and I felt like having that idea of adding students, I want to make sure that we could get somebody so it would continue. So that's why I was like, I will do it, obviously, so I can start it and keep it going. And so that we could discuss and let them be known of problems, because even though they try, obviously students don't always like to talk to adults, and they like to share it personally with some people, and then we can bring it in the school board ways without obviously exposing anyone or anything.
Right.
So I know, Sam, when you did your introduction at the school board meeting the other night, you talked about your future aspirations about possibly a political science degree. Obviously, this kind of an experience can play right into kind of the forming of public policy, and you're not creating laws at the school board, but you're getting that public experience. How did you see this opportunity benefiting you down the road?
I definitely tied it in my head to the political science degree that I want to earn in the future. And I'm very interested in public policy. Specifically, I would like to get into international relations and stuff like that. And so if I can start kind of on a smaller scale on community relations and relations within the school to the community, then I definitely saw that as a path forward into that field.
And Hannah, how about you? How do you see this opportunity benefiting you down the road?
I see it benefiting me to be able to help my community when I leave Low Falls, like when I'm older, that I'm able to, after college and even helping with college, that I can help my community, because I can know ways to talk to the councils and talk to that, so I can help even the community I live in the future when I have a family even.
Let's talk a little bit about some things that maybe would be topics that you would like to see the school board discuss. What do you think is at front and center for students at Little Falls High School that they would want the board to know and have conversations about?
Like Hannah mentioned at our first meeting, mental health is definitely a big thing, student mental health specifically, and bringing that into the educational aspect of it, yes. I feel like very often we are overlooked, even though we're the whole reason that the school district and any school district would exist. I feel as though students are often overlooked and seen as more of a way to, I don't know, it's more who's populating the building rather than what the building is for. So I would really like to bring that to the board's attention and make sure that the students, again, are at the center of their own education.
Adding to Sam, with the mental health, I also want to show with the board to make sure they understand that it's not just like, because when some people hear mental health, they just hear like depression or some like sadness or just not in the right mindset, but that's not what it all is. It's sometimes people have rough and they need help with that, at some points because they've been building up so much, or it's anxiety and they just need a different learning process, and they need the teacher to be able to make time to talk to them a little bit. And obviously there's a lot of students, and obviously not every teacher can do that. Like boosters is actually a really good thing, but it's right after school, and some people can't make it to if they have to ride a bus or something
Sure.
like that. So I just wanna see if we can find more possibilities to where we can help the students feel comfortable. Like Sam said, like it feels right now that they're trying to make sure that we stay here and not like see us as like we are the people making the school, not just the people in it.
You two are the first students ever in Little Falls history to be given the opportunity to serve as student representatives on the school board. So that's obviously a very noble honor and worthy accomplishment for both of you. But as you think about that, what sense of responsibility does that create for you amongst in having to represent your peers?
Oh goodness, it's definitely a great responsibility because we're not just representing we're not representing us, we're not just representing our friend groups or our athletic departments, we're representing an entire school, even outside of our own grades. So it's a big deal and it's a big responsibility, and I hope that in the future it's opened up to all grade levels and that it keeps going. But it's definitely a big undertaking, but I'm up for it. I know Hannah is too, so.
I would see it as, like Sam said, a big responsibility, but I feel like it makes it even big that we are the first, that we should show that we can make change. Because if nothing happens to the school year, nothing changes that should have been changed, then I feel like next year it'll be harder as well to show change. Like not every year needs change obviously, but if like the first year can have change, then you know that it's possible to make changes for the better of the school.
Setting the tone.
Yep.
So if there is that item that you would like to set the tone on or make the change with, what's that one item gonna be for the two of you?
Like I said earlier, I'm very much set on having the students be at the center of their own education and the entire district remembering why we are here, because I feel like that gets lost in so many different environments, not just school districts, but in businesses and corporations. And I feel like the employees or the students should have a say and should be involved. Even obviously we can't vote on anything in the school board, but just our presence there and the fact that we're there to bring up issues or voice our concern on something that the board has been discussing, I think that's a really big deal.
With what Sam said is that we can show that it's a comfortable place for students to stay, and even though we fully support PSCO, then they can stay in the school, get that high school experience like a lot of students do want, but some feel just like they want to step away because it's not a comfortable place for them.
It's not what they expected.
Yeah, it's not what they expected. Adding on to that is that PSCO does a great opportunity for students to cut costs on college credits and being able, but the district has advocated that they would love the students to stay and be in the building to get that high school experience. And I know a number of some people that did PSCO just because they didn't feel comfortable in the setting of the school, or they didn't feel appreciated enough kind of, and also wanted to get to a more collegiate level, like they felt like high school is just done with them. So I want to make it where the students feel supported, they can know that they can have places to break, teachers to support and relax them, and also make it where they don't feel like children anymore, like high schoolers or almost college students.
And yet that's a tricky transition, right? Because in the high school, you have students that have just come from the middle school, and you have other school students that are ready to launch into their future. And that can be a pretty wide spectrum, and so trying to figure out how you balance and support all students through that 4-year process, it's important. And so that's very admirable for you guys to want to push for that. Both of you have been part of the strategic planning process. As you think through those 4 priority areas, teaching and learning, finance and facilities, wellness and mental health, and communication and marketing. Obviously, we've already spent some time talking about the wellness and mental health. That's a priority area for you. What's another area that you would maybe like to be able to spend some time addressing as part of the strategic planning process?
I would love to address facilities. I think we're off to a great start. We just redid a couple of our bathrooms and they look fantastic. I would like to see us move in a direction that fits other schools around our size or even bigger, because I feel like we're very much okay with how things look because they've looked like that for a while, or if it's not broken, don't fix it. But I feel like students in other schools have a sense of pride when they have beautiful facilities, and obviously that does take part of the finances that you were talking about. That takes a lot of money and it takes a lot of community support and support within the district too. But I think if we have beautiful, nice facilities and upgraded technology and everything, I think students will have more of a sense of pride in where they're learning.
And adding to the facility part, I have been to other schools to actually kind of look at the other schools, not to like go there, but a little false start, just saying. But but I've seen how actually prideful the students are of their schools and how proud they are if it's a very diverse school, if it is a very high-tech school, having AP, having weighted GPAs, like advances in the school system and facility have showed these students like, I'm proud of our school and I'm willing to like show it off, and I'm willing to have people come here and look at it. Mm-hmm. And I think even though it is going to take some finance, which I think we have a very supportive and generous community, that we can get some finances to be able to be put to the facility a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And even the students always are willing to help as well, like being on student council, they always are willing to help the food drive and veterans program. So I feel like they'd be able to help to improve their school to have it better.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Well, girls, thank you so much for joining us today to talk about what you look forward to in your upcoming year on the school board, and hopefully you are going to blaze a path for students for years to come to have their voice heard. So thanks again for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.